Hi everyone, welcome back. If you've been following along, you know where we left off. For those of you who are new, well, let's just say things are getting interesting. So grab your tea or coffee, sit back, and let me share what happened next. After accepting Brother Kurt's offer to help with college, I felt, grateful, but also conflicted. It wasn't just the kindness of his gesture that lingered in my mind. It was how natural, how effortless our conversations had become. We weren't just acquaintances anymore. Somewhere along the line, a true friendship had formed. It was the kind of friendship that makes you feel seen and heard in a way you hadn't realized you needed. And yet I was cautious. My parents had made it clear that this arrangement was a loan and not a license for anything more. And I agreed completely. But have you ever felt like your emotions were quietly tiptoeing into a space they weren't supposed to occupy? That's how it was with me. I was walking a tightrope, balancing my heart and my faith. Kurt and I didn't see each other often, but when we did, it was always unexpected and unplanned. Like that one evening, I decided to head to the park to clear my mind, to pray and journal as I often do. It was just me, the soft rustling of the trees and my thoughts. And then there he was. Kurt had come to the park too, apparently to take a quiet walk after work. The coincidence or providence wasn't lost on either of us. We greeted each other casually, but I could feel the air shift, charged with something unspoken. We didn't sit together right away. Instead, he walked the trail and I stayed on the bench writing. But eventually he circled back and we ended up talking for hours about everything: life, dreams, God, and faith. And here's the thing, not once did he cross a line, not with his words, not with his demeanor. That respect, that understanding made our connection even more complicated for me. How could someone be so good, so kind, and not awaken parts of me I was trying so hard to keep surrendered to God? As my college start date loomed closer, I found myself leaning into my relationship with God more than ever. I needed His clarity, His strength. Every morning, I woke up earlier than usual to pray and meditate on scripture. I was searching for peace, for that assurance that my feelings weren't leading me down a path I regret. And it wasn't just about Kurt, it was about me, about the kind of woman I wanted to be. I kept asking myself, can I walk this line without losing sight of my purpose? The answer wasn't always clear. One evening, after church, I overheard someone mention my name in connection with Kurt's. It was subtle, a passing comment, but it struck me hard. Suddenly, I was aware of how closely people were watching, how easily stories could be crafted out of nothing. It reminded me why I had to keep my distance emotionally, why this connection, this growing closeness, needed boundaries, preparing for college. Then there was the practical side of things. Kurt wasn't just a friend anymore. He was an active part of my life. He was the reason I could even afford to think about college. He'd offered to drive me to campus for orientation, to help with settling in. It was also practical, so generous, but it scared me. Not him, but the weight of what it all meant. So I prayed and prayed and prayed some more. I prayed for wisdom, for discernment, for the courage to keep my heart in check. And as I prayed, I began to see the beauty in the struggle. I realized that this battle wasn't about Kurt or even about college. It was about me learning to trust God with every part of my life, including my emotions. Ending on a cliffhanger, I'll leave you with this. That evening in the park, as Kurt and I said goodbye, something in his tone caught my attention. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but it left me wondering, was there something more he wasn't saying? It's funny how the smallest moments can stick with you, how they can leave you questioning everything. And now, as I sit here journaling and reflecting, I can't help but wonder, what comes next? Stay tuned, family, because this story, it's far from over.